Hello, and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann.
So, today we're going to be talking about cancer and relationships and how relationships change when you're on a cancer journey. But first, we're going to start by getting grounded, and I'm going to go first today.
Okay.
So, physically, I am a 4.15. Emotionally, I am a 4.5. Spirit is a 4.4. Hope is a 4.3. And my word is
Thank you. All right. PESH. So physically, I'm 4.25. Emotionally, I am 4.3. Spirit is 4.55. Hope is 4.6. And my word is walking.
I always want to say things to the word, but I'm pulling myself back from that because that's not what the word is about. That's not what the word is about. Okay, so today we're talking about relationships in your life, not just romantic, but any relationship with your friends, with your family, with your acquaintances, even maybe with your doctors and your care team there too. Any dynamic you have with another individual, we're considering a relationship in this context. And it changes so much during cancer because you change.
Oh, that's so true. As you were just naming all the kinds of people that are included in relationships, I just went, oh, because they're so different. Like the relationship I have with my doctor is far different from the relationship I have with my sister, my brother, my parents. And so that's really fascinating. But what I do want to say, and what's coming straight up here is when you're on a cancer journey, especially right after diagnosis. So when you're in the call and initiation, what's still happening is you wanting to protect the people that you love so much. And so the relationship there, if you have been kind of like the caretaker, but not in the caretaker meaning I'm doing their stuff. It's more like I'm trying to protect you still is in play. And I would say being that protector during the pit when treatment starts is also very, very prevalent. So you don't say how you're really feeling sometimes. And you don't say, I'm really scared of dying at all because you don't want to freak people out and have them think, oh my God, they're giving up. They're giving up. That even giving up is even something to consider.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
when you're saying protector too, like that like click of responsibility that comes naturally, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily something that's being asked of you all the time, but this like being on top of everything, being feeling and it's not even being reliable. It's feeling like you are reliable to other people, but oftentimes it makes us feel reliable and valuable and trustworthy when we create a situation in which other people can rely on us. So when there's this big shift and you become the center of attention, which for a lot of people is really scary. And when you are in the center of, your cancer journey and you need things and you have to state that you need things instead of feeling like you're the provider and helping because everyone wants to help like globally in the world, like everyone wants to be able to support someone else. And that's also why being put into the limelight in the center like that can feel so vulnerable because we're admitting that we need help. And cancer is also, by saying I have cancer, sometimes it feels synonymous with I can't do it myself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it shifts our relationships, especially if we are constantly the one who is giving. And then you start to notice the dynamics of, okay, we could call them power dynamics, but really it's just the level of effort that everyone is putting in. And so when you need to pull back on some of the effort you're giving to other people to give to yourself, they change. And you start to notice those shifts and it can feel really uncomfortable.
Wow. You just said a ton.
It just came
And
out.
I know, but what came up for me was like, first, let's start here. What's the relationship I have with myself? And the whole fact that cancer is part of my life, whether you're a patient or a caregiver or a survivor or a thriver. I mean, it's like, what's my relationship to cancer and the whole concept and the experience of it? And then second was, how do I want to be with this situation and other people? And I'm just thinking of people who don't want to tell anyone, which, I mean, you just kind of spurred up this power dynamic in a way, but it's not power like I want power over people. It's like, I think you said this. I don't want them to feel sorry for me. I don't want to be less than. And so just a demonstration when people do know and they go, "Oh, how are you doing?" We hate that because it's that pity look, that tilt of the head, the tenor of the voice, and it's just like, I'm not less than.
Yeah.
And that
So good.
all that has to play.
That head tilt, that's like a direct quote from Friends when one of the characters is like going through a divorce, whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I know you know about the divorce because you gave me the pity look." And they're like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "You turned your head and you do this thing, but you feel it. You feel that it's like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like you're really tender. Are you okay?" And it's like, don't come at me with that energy. Like just because maybe I'm feeling vulnerable in this moment does not mean I'm weak. So sorry, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yes, and some people really want that and need that because they've been so I've got everything under control and they're exhausted holding up that onness, that performing, that stance. So, I mean, it's like it starts with here, relationship with myself, then relationship with cancer. And now, as I take that out there, because it's a big deal, I remember when I first had alopecia, which is not cancer and it's not a precursor to cancer, but I lost 75% of my hair. And so I was wearing hats, had the best hat collection. But people would whisper, I heard after the fact behind my back, like, does Sherry Ann have cancer? And I was offended because no, that wasn't true. But there is the whispers behind your back or in the corners or just the whispers in general about you. So it's like you you need to be really clear on, how you are in relationship to the cancer, if it's in fact cancer, and how you want to present. And then that's now the relationship with you and everybody outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And so also what we're saying here, knowing that this is the situation that so many people are thrust into, is that what do you want? Surprise, this question comes up from us. But what do you want with these relationships, with these interactions, including your relationship with cancer? And I think that was a great point. I mean, you saw me nodding like crazy, was you're saying your individual relationship to your own cancer and your own cancer journey is so, so important because, yeah, sometimes people too, they start to kind of push people out of their life because they feel like they need to self isolate. And when they self isolate, even then, even if that's what you choose to do and how you choose to handle your cancer, because there's not a right or wrong answer, you still have a relationship with you at your core. And so when you remove the other relationships, that becomes even more important, actually. How are you holding yourself and making sure that you are holding yourself? Like, just showing up for yourself, not like holding all the responsibility and holding all the heaviness and all the weight of all that by yourself, but having the relationship with yourself with saying like, what do I want? Who do I want to be? What do I need here to feel strong and not just floating? You can feel more grounded just by identifying exactly what it is that will make you feel stronger and make you feel like your needs are met. God, like having your needs met is probably going to make you feel the most resourced and the most capable. And so if you decide to do that on your own or have other people included in it, it still becomes really important to identify exactly what it is that you need.
Yes, the question is always the most powerful. So, what came up for me while you were saying that is that there are a lot of people. I might have a part of that too. I'm not going to say that I don't, but where you want to feel loved, You want to feel that you mattered. You want to feel seen, heard, and gotten. I want that all the time. But there's a certain thing about cancer because not everybody has it. It's changing now, but I mean, not everybody has it and it's going through their active cancer journey. But you feel special. You have a medical team that's catering just to you and your every ping, pain, you know, physicalness. And so they're paying close attention to you. Okay, you feel special because they're catering to you. What's going on? How can we help you? How can we fix it? Fix is definitely in there. And then there's your family or whoever shows up in that main caring role. What do you want? What can I get for you? What can I do for you? Those questions come up a lot, and while you may be exhausted and can't answer, it is that catering to you that does make you feel special. And so I don't want to take that away from anyone who wants to be conscious and aware that that's how I want to be. I know that just one story. There is someone we know who's in active treatment, and the gifts, the cards, the phone calls all make you feel extra special. And so it's kind of nice to have that attention to some extent, especially if you've been living kind of a silo, unconnected life primarily.
Yeah. I mean, the psychology even of like social media, right? And like getting likes and feeling like there's attention and people are witnessing you in even, a slight way, just to the human psyche, like that is very rewarding to know that and to put into the center that way. And of course, I mean, cancer is so chaotic and dynamic and complex that like yes, there's that moment that sometimes this is like the first time someone has gotten to feel special and feels like there's a reason for people to connect with them, especially if they've otherwise been disconnected or been the one kind of behind the scenes reaching out rather than being the one who's being reached out to. And then there are also moments of feeling like I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want to be thrust in that light. I don't want people to see me as synonymous with cancer. I don't want to seem like I'm asking for attention. It's gonna there is no wrong way to handle cancer. There is no extreme polarity at any given time. You can land anywhere in the middle, and it can also be like this. There's no clear, easy way to do it. And what you want and need in your relationships can change from day to day. Like, let's say your doctor, right? Your doctor comes in, they're being really blunt and dry and not giving you a lot of information. It's okay for you to take that experience and say, okay, next time, I just need you to deliver that a little bit softer. And if you could just stay with me for an extra couple minutes to answer even questions I feel like are stupid so I don't feel like I'm like, wasting or rushing your time. Like I know some days I can handle it and some days I can't. And then, there could be a day that they come in, they're very soft with you. They theoretically hold your hand through it. I don't know if they're actually allowed to hold your hand through it. I don't know. And they're sitting with you while you cry, or they're watching you cry, and you feel too vulnerable and you're like, okay, next time you come in, I just need you to be blunt and dry. But no one really knows what you need, and you can't even experience what you think you need unless you ask for it and you take a moment for yourself to even see what that is, right? Like maybe a friend wants to come over and like bake you a casserole. You're like, that's great. I don't like casserole. You get to say, thank you so much for that. Instead of this, which is a really, really great offer, can it be this instead? Because I would love that. Or it's like, can you just sit with me and watch a movie? Actually, you don't have to do anything for me. Can you just sit there in silence with me and hold my hand? That is such a fair ask. And like you said before, most people, they'll reach out, they'll be like, I'm here if you need me, I'm here if you need me. And I mean, okay, even for myself being in a situation where there was like a lot of people saying that they would show up for me, they don't know how. They don't know what I need. They don't, you're not coming every day with someone in this situation. And even if you are, you don't necessarily always know what to do about it. You don't know how that person needs to be communicated with. So the more that we can be like, Either if you're the one offering, offer something specific, not just I'm here, I'm around. They're not going to reach out to you. Like they might, but it's really hard to say like, hey, I know you offered to help. Could you help in this way? Like that is really difficult. If you could offer a thing like baking a casserole or mopping your floors or holding your hand or, absolute silence, here's a card, something, it gives someone options to respond to. And if you are the individual who's getting these offers, you don't have to accept everything at face value. Sometimes it's just that someone wants to put in effort into you and they don't know what to give you either. So if either individual in this relationship can offer a more clear option, they have the opportunity to say yes or no. And any no is never a denial. It's just more information. It's more information to then better serve what's needed in this relationship and actually foster a stronger connection.
Absolutely. As you were talking, what came up for me was vulnerability. That we're saying quite easily, like, what do you want? And, letting people know what you want. But it is very vulnerable as a human emotional being who, we're kind of, on one sense it's me against the world and I need to survive, and then the other hand it's like I want to be connected and not go through this by myself. And so being able to not delineate but know that, so this person's really good with tactical stuff. Maybe they can help me with, scheduling appointments and handling my meds or whatever that is. And this person doesn't like doing that, but they certainly would love to watch a movie with me or hold my hand. Or I made this mistake thinking that my significant other is the end all be all. He should be there for everything that I need, emotionally, tactically, physically, just everything. But that's not true. And that was over me making over responsible that individual. And what I learned through the process was, if I want someone to be my girlfriend, and in girlfriend land, this is, the intimate, let me get ooey gooey, let me talk about my emotions, let's get intimate emotionally, then I can go to a girlfriend and get that. And I don't have to ask my husband to actually do that, which he could do for a little while, but after a while, his responses are not the typical, hey, I can't keep holding this container. I need to go rake the leaves outside. It's something
Right.
much more tactical, and it's not an offense to me, or should not be, for me to clearly see I've extended beyond their capabilities right now.
And it's
So,
not an offense to him either. It's not that he can't do it. It's just not, and no one out there is everything to anyone else.
and I do want to say, even with girlfriends, it felt like, have I overcrossed the bar? Like, have I talked about myself and cancer and everything around that too much? And do I now need to stop talking? Here's where a cancer journey coach comes perfectly in, right? Because I have my scheduled time. It's just for me. It's not for the coach. And I could repeat whatever I'm saying over and over again if that's what I need to do. And it's kind of in the sense of venting a little bit, where it's like, can I just let this all out? And I don't want you to react, which you won't because you're a trained coach. But can I just have this space to release all that I'm carrying during this journey, so that I can come back to the relationships in my life and enjoy them and not hold any baggage underneath? It's like, that's not theirs to carry anyways. It's like, where's my clean container that's just for me? And I love that about the cancer journey coach
Yes.
sessions and space.
So many things pop up for me there too. It's like, okay, first, like, yes, not again, just double clicking on the not any one person can be everything for you. They serve a purpose in your life, and that doesn't necessarily have to be defined, but you can absolutely, like, every single person will energetically feel different to you. You're not going to feel exactly the same with every single person, your girlfriends, your aunt, your sister, your cousin, your neighbor, your nurses, like you're not gonna have the same. Sure, maybe some people might remind you of other people, and then it's like when you get into those situations where it's like you meet someone and all of a sudden you're like linked, and their energy is like yes, and you just know that you can divulge information to them. It doesn't have to be super, sensitive information, but there's just this like release of like, yes, I can tell you these things that I didn't necessarily feel like I could tell anyone else before, and I feel very open and comfortable here. Everyone's going to feel a little bit different, and you're going to have a different relationship with every single person. And at the same time, I personally know that I've had this feeling where it's like you said, I don't want to overburden people because I've been talking about this a lot. I can start to feel them getting a little edgy about it, and they don't want to say it because they don't want to hurt my feelings, because obviously that's something I'm going through. But like you're starting to feel that energy, but you need to put it somewhere. And just because you're feeling the energy from someone being like, maybe some walls are coming up a little bit, they're starting to, you're feeling an energetic boundary with them that it's like, maybe we stop talking about that right now, just because that's not in service of the relationship, it's in service of me. So if I want to continue to be in service of me, because I need to release this and this is not the right place to put it, where's the right place to put it? Like I have felt that so often. Sometimes you sit there like, oh, do I talk to that friend? Oh no, maybe I talk to this friend. And it's just none of it feels right. And you're like, where do I put this? Cancer journey coach. Cancer journey coach is where you put that, because like you said, you can say the same thing over and over. You can sit there and say cancer sucks for a straight hour. And they're like, yeah, keep going. You need another hour? Let's do it. Like, keep saying it, because there is a release that you need to experience. And we're not often taught where to put that. Art is definitely one of those like kind of drop all things that people are like, oh, go express your emotions in some art. Okay, not everyone knows how to do that, and it's not effective for everyone, especially if you're not like raised and shown how to do that and you've learned that that's an experience that works for you. Like day to day, even artists are not necessarily like, I'm sad, let me paint something. There's a better place to put it, and sometimes it's just being like, I have no words, I'm just sad. Can you sit here while I cry? Cancer journey coach. And it's such a safe, perfect space for that, where you don't have to worry about this exchange and this missing piece of, I have something to say and that I need to get off my chest, but it's going to interfere with this relationship that I've built with this person who's important to me. There are better places to put it. And it becomes really important on the cancer journey too, because you have frustrations that a lot of people will not be able to relate to, but they want to, but they just can't. And that's literally where we come in.
Yeah. I mean, what came up for me is, yes, the processing of emotions, but also being so overwhelmed and confused where you're like, I don't know. And of course, people are asking you because it's your journey. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What decisions do you want to make? And they all feel all big. And so being able to go someplace where it's judgment free, they're completely for you, and somebody who's trained and has tools to work with you, to go there and say, you know, I don't know. I have this thing that's sitting right in front of me and I'm so confused. I can't even see past my nose. I'm just, first, there's emotions that I probably need to process, but now I don't know what direction to take. And what I love about the cancer journey coaches is because they're trained, they can just say, okay, let's just lay it all out like a deck of cards in front of you on the table, and we'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, but let's take it step by step. And sure, somebody else might be able to do that. But then exactly what you're saying is, am I taking up too much time? Are they going to say, okay, I'm done? Or they say, wow, you're a lot of work and you take a lot of effort. I need to start backing away from the relationship. There's none of that. It's like, we're here committed to each other for however long it takes. Let's lay out the cards. And that feels so good. It's like that burden of being responsible for the relationship, like a interpersonal, personal relationship, just is gone. And it's like, I just need to say whatever comes to mind. And you're not going to take offense. I know you're not.
Yeah. Oh, there's something so like, for lack of a better term, like clean and clear I love the reminder about tools. I mean, I'm a coach myself too, but sometimes I do forget it's not just listening to what's coming up, but it's like having actual actionable tools that you can use, not ones that are like, oh, here, have a tool and take it to go. It's more like, let's go through this process. Like, let's experience this, um, unearth what's here and work through it together. And oh God, just the safest space, really. And to give you clarity. We're not just there to sit and let you like talk at and then just like get it out. It's so much more than that, and it's so much more impactful. And really, we watch it move and shift people through the cancer journey roadmap so much more quickly when they have that clarity and that understanding, and like everything doesn't feel like a mess anymore. You get to figure out what's you, and you get to really be like selfish, which really we say is self first, in a world that we don't often let ourselves do that in at all.
Is that your takeaway? Because it
No,
sounded really like poignant.
no, it felt like one, but what is my takeaway? I mean, my takeaway almost all the time is just like, wow, a cancer journey coach is like so powerful to have in your life as an individual. But that when there are big life changes, clarity is like, it feels like the thing that's hardest to have. And it feels like the thing that feels so out of reach. But it's not nearly as complicated as sometimes we feel like it can be. And it can start really small to like, I want a nourishing meal. You know, it can be something so small to something that's very function based and wide. Like I want to feel loved. And all of that is still valid, and all of that creates more clarity within your being and within your perspective and what you're looking for, and in your communication with the people that are able to offer those things to you. So I think my main takeaway is just that finding clarity, whatever your method may be, really proves and transforms your relationships to really better serve you along this journey. So that is my takeaway. And then physically, I'm a 4.4. Emotionally, I am a 4.6. Spirit is a 4.4. And hope is a 4.3. And my word is, I don't know, bubbly.
My takeaway is that you've said it, and I'm going to just say it again because it's such a big takeaway. It's one person cannot be everything. It's not fair to that person, especially if that person ends up being you and somebody is asking you to be everything for them, especially on a cancer journey. It's like, that's a lot to carry. And I could even feel myself backing up. It's like, I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for what I lovingly want to give. Just knowing that and then allowing people to be there for you and have relationships with them. I want to say design the relationship, but that feels like I'll scare everyone away. But to have the intention of what you want from that relationship and be able to articulate it, at least gently, not like, and I want this. It's more like, this is what I would like from our relationship. And my PESH now is physically 4.35. Spirit, nope, sorry, emotions 4.4, spirit 4.7, hope is 4.65, and my word is clarity.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week with a new episode.
This has been lovely. I hope you have let me say that again. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And remember, you're more powerful than you realize.